like co-working and body doubling are like having their moment, and I so appreciate that. I spend so much of my time literally co-working like with my friends on Zoom, and something we started doing, I'm a piano teacher, I teach at interlude music lessons with my brother Tony, and something we started doing is basically hosting free practice co-working sessions. Now we do have a little bit more structure where we walk you through the practice structure that we actually recommend to our students, so that means there's time to ask questions, time for feedback, time to share what you're working on with others. And I really like this model, and not only do I like it, and does Tony, my brother, like it, but we get really great feedback from our students as well. And I think, like, you know, the proof is in the pudding. And especially for like adults, life is so busy, it is so hard to fit in practice time. What I so appreciate about the feedback we get is that folks say, thank God we're doing this because it's like the only way we're gonna practice this week, which like totally relatable. And then also that even like just the small chunks of time we spend each week, you see a huge improvement, you see a big difference. I think we put so much pressure on ourselves that like we have to practice so much and it has to be perfect and we have to see these huge leaps and bounds. But we don't realize that even just a little bit of small consistent practice can be so helpful. Even just that once a week, even if you're like dedicating 20 minutes to that piece, you are going to see improvement, and that's really encouraging. And I'm so glad that it is encouraging to our students and we're getting that feedback. You just probably saw in my last post, we're adding in a Tuesday time slot. So not only do we have our Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern that we've been doing for a few months now, but we also have the Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time slot. Now, also, I'm sure you're like, okay, that's free, Julia. How are you making money? Well, I'm not making money off these classes. We want to give back to the community. We want to make music education as accessible as we can. But B, there are other ways you can support us. I love teaching private lessons. Tony and I both have some private lesson slots open. So if you want to grab those, go for it. We have 30, 40, and 50 minutes. Generally, if you're a beginner or younger, then I recommend that 30-minute time slot. The 40 and 50 are for more advanced students. You can always email me if you're uncertain. Also, we have a Ko-Fi, so that's a really fun way that is kind of like a crowdsourcing where if you're only able to give a small amount or you just want to give so that we can keep doing our free events, that's another great way to do it. So you can check us out on Ko-Fi too. I'm putting all the information on the screen, but I just wanted to share that we have this really cool free event. If co-working, body doubling is your jam, I really encourage you to check it out. It's such a great way to build community, to get a chance to practice in front of other people. Like that is, takes some courage, and you don't have to, but you have that opportunity, so I think that's great as well. And I love that we have all ages, really, from kids to grown-ups, people who are new to instruments, people who've been playing for a long time. And I think that honestly, like, alternative education vibe is actually a really natural and great way for musicians to learn together and learn from each other. That was slightly rambly, but there's all that information. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments.